start my story. One, this is my personal experience, so everything I say today, it'll be very subjective, you know? It'll be my opinion, my experience. So I hope you understand that. And number two, I'm not very good at telling stories. I've said this before, but I'm sure I'm going to forget details and forget things. I didn't script anything. I just wrote it down like points because I fear that I'm going to forget something. But this is really just like if we went for a drink and you asked me, hey, why do you move? And I'll tell you what's in my brain. So, yeah, I say that I'll forget something because the other storytelling video that I made, the How I Met My Boyfriend, which I can link down below in case you want to jump to that one when you finish this one. That video, when I was editing that video, I realized how many details I left out, how many things I forgot, and there's something I said it out of order. I said that it happened before the other thing, so and it happened after. So I have a terrible memory. Terrible. Yeah, very bad. So I'll try my best to tell this story as accurate as possible the way it's in my brain. But bear with me. So and don't I look like, well, I wish, doesn't this shirt or this top look like the dress that Kim Kardashian wore at the, I think, the Met Gala, that the media destroyed her, saying that she looked like an old couch. So I might look like an old couch, but doesn't the pattern look just like that dress? I don't know. This is a very old top that I actually got probably on my first year living here. So this is probably 11 years ago. Anyway, it was going to be very hard for me to find something related to what I studied, to my degree, and but so I was finding no luck with I was having no luck with finding a job in Europe, and the visa situation. I did not want to go illegally. I did not want to go through that stress myself. That's just me. But I wanted to be like all legal, all easy, no stress, because I'm already an anxious person. So I wasn't finding anything in Europe. But soon enough, I found this posting this ad or whatever it was online for an internship in Pennsylvania, United States of America. So I thought, well, it's not Europe, but let me check it out. And this was a pretty good opportunity because not only it was, oh my god, now there's thunders too. I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully you find it relaxing. Hopefully you like the rain. This ad, this posting, this internship had so many pros, so many benefits. It was not only my ticket to go to a different country, like the opportunity that I was looking for, but the job that I was gonna be doing was related to my degree. It was these groups of Argentinians, what they had done was they would come in that group and try to live together to make expenses a little bit cheaper. So there was already like a I don't know, a tradition, like the big group would split in little groups, and groups of 2, 3, 4 that would live together. So in a way you were not alone, you know, you were not going completely by yourself, because by the way, I haven't said this yet, but I moved by myself. Little detail, see, I was forgetting to say that I came to the US by myself. My entire family lives in Argentina, and which was a little bit of a shock for my family, because if you met me before coming here, well, I'm still like that a little bit, but before moving, I was a very, like, homebody. I hadn't traveled much, and I loved staying at home. I loved going to, and this is gonna sound super pathetic, but I would love to accompany my dad to his errands. I was like a little bit of a daddy's girl, so it was a little bit heartbreaking for him, which that's a bittersweet, more bitter than sweet topic. That was hard. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that it was kind of a shock for my family. But yeah, I moved here to the US by myself, but not really by myself, because I was able to meet with these other Argentinians and be in contact with them. And so well, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I was saying that the internship had all these benefits, so I went for it. I applied, and I went through the process, which was a very long process. It was about a year and a half before I moved, so very long, and lots of steps before moving to the US. Like, I had to translate my degree because it was a requirement to get the internship. I had to get a special type of driver's license. I had to go through the entire process of the visa, which was in January. The first group went in February. Second group, I was the group of, well, April, May. Yeah, maybe I was May. Sorry, is that too loud? I might have to stop. I stopped recording just in case you did notice. But yeah, there was a very loud car passing by. This video is going to be so choppy. Whatever. Another choppy video. It's a tradition, you know. This is what I do in my channel. Where was I? Oh, I think I was saying that they would split you. They would send groups of 3 or 4 at a time, like maybe every month. I think that's how they would do it. And I was a group of May. You were able to change your date, obviously. If you couldn't travel in May, you could say, okay, I'll go in June. But I was May, and I was ready to go. So I was put in a group with other 3 girls, and we decided, these 3 girls and me, we decided to live together to make it a little bit cheaper, because we were coming from a country that has pesos and dollars. They've always been like dollars and pesos, you know, always since ever. Now more than ever, but even at that time, things were like we didn't have much money. We were not arriving to. I'm speaking generally. I don't know about each one of them, but all of us, we were interested in sharing the apartment. I personally was hoping to just live with one other person. I did not want to do the groupal thing. I was not interested. Obviously, it's raining. You can see the rain in my hair. It's like, but it looks like it gives it some volume. I never have volume. I'm okay with it. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I would have wished that I would only live with one other person, but there was no agreement in that. All the other 3 girls didn't want to split into 2 groups of 2. It's a couple of group. I don't know, but into 2 couples. They wanted to do one house, the 4 of us. So it was either I live with the other 3 girls, or I live by myself, and I did not want to do that then. So I ended up in a house with other 3 girls, which was fine. I mean, it has some pros and some cons, but it was kind of a frat house type of situation sometimes. Well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Anyway, maybe that's part 2. If you want to hear more, I'm gonna try to get to when I moved. Yeah, when I moved and how I moved and why. I'm not gonna go too far. You'll see how far I go. But if you want to hear more about my experience, of course, let me know. So